What's going on, everybody? Tarico Satterfield here, your mental performance consultant. I'm so excited to have this conversation. You guys know we are doing a series all year long called Rooted in Greatness, where we're going to have some phenomenal conversation. And today's no different. I want to introduce my co-host. Noor is in the building, y'all. Miss Tunisia is in the building here with us today. Noor, say hello to everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm back again. Here I am.
Back again. So, Nora, introduce our guest today. We're gonna get right into this, man. Tell us a little bit about our guest and who she is, what she does.
I'm so happy to have Peyton here in the house today. I'm so glad. I just want everybody to hear her story, her experience, how she's tough on and off the court, and her kindness and just her legacy she have brought to our school. So I'm gonna have Peyton introduce herself to everybody.
Say
Yeah.
hi, I'm Peyton. I'm so grateful to be on the show and so grateful to be talking to Tariko and Nor both.
Listen, Peyton, we're so excited to have you here. So, first of all, I started off our conversation, our introduction. I'm gonna start it off the same way here. That I heard you like the home run queen. That you're hitting home runs all across the nation. You going international with this home run thing. Tell me a little bit about you, where you play, how long you've been playing, what sport you're in. Tell me about yourself.
Okay. Like I said, I'm Peyton. Am a junior at Western Illinois University. I play softball there, and I played softball at a very, very small high school in Illinois called Rockridge, and had some great success there. But I've been playing softball. I'm 20 now. I turned 21 in the spring.
Okay.
Like almost 17 years, 16, 17 years. So it's been a long route.
17 years you've been playing?
So in the spring, it'll be 17. Not yet, but
Crazy. That means you're a vet.
yes, very, very long. I grew up playing basketball and softball, and I mean, even starting out in the backyard, not even organized softball, but my parents always joke around that I was throwing everything 100 mile an hour around the house. And I
Mm.
mean, my dad's a basketball man, so I grew up, I mean, trying to shoot. I wasn't always the greatest shooter, but trying to learn and trying to play. But I grew up in a very competitive household. I'm the only one, or I'm the only child, but I was competitive with my dad, competitive with my mom. They're both competitive people, so we were always playing games, always messing around. I mean, even if it was a small game on the mini hoop where I got demolished, just still playing that. But yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, go ahead, Nora. I'm gonna kick it off, let you kick this thing off and get her all going.
Let's do it. Well, I know a lot about Peyton already. Of course, on the field, she's amazing, but I also, as mentioned before, she's a really good friend of mine there. And
Hmm.
I just want the people to know more about you, Peyton. So I want you to share a little bit who you are when you're not performing, who you are out of the softball team, out of the softball field. So,
Okay. Um, like I said, I'm just like any other kind of casual college athlete. I mean, I would say off the field, my hobbies still include like the gym and watching other sports. Um, just hanging out with my friends. I have a really, really great friend group, including Nora at Western, and I love being around them and hanging around them, even if it's just watching TV or going out to dinner or stuff like that. I mean, I'm very, very faith based. I take my faith as one of the most important things about me. I mean, I have all three of my tattoos are faith based.
Love
So,
it.
I mean, I have that written on my body. I always wear my cross. So, I would say that's probably the biggest part about me. Um, but, like I said, I'm just like any other ordinary college student or even just athlete in general. Love any sports, love hanging around my friends.
Hmm.
I love my family time. I'm a complete homebody. Nor gives me crap for going home all the time, but I love being around my
because she
family and my
leaves me.
animals. But yeah, just like any other normal student.
Love it. So, talk to me a little bit about. I love hearing that you're a homebody. I love that your faith is very important to you. So, let's say your sport was taken away from you tomorrow, right? Let's say you lost your sport tomorrow. What would you like find meaning in life if you couldn't hit that ball anymore?
I mean, I think this is a conversation that is, I mean, very deeply rooted in who I am as a player because I did not attend Western my freshman year, and I attended a different university and was very, very close to never picking up a softball bat ever again. And I think it took so much for me to realize that, you know, obviously, like I said, I've played softball my entire life since I was 3 or 4 years old. But knowing that there is so much more to life than playing that sport. I mean, one, having your faith and just believing in God and knowing that He will support you no matter what happens. And He has a path for you no matter what's going on. And I mean, like I said, I can use that in so many points in my life. Like I said, I was so close to quitting, but God gave me another route. I found my place in the transfer portal, and that was a great step. But I mean, I just know that I have a great support system. I have parents, family, friends. I have a boyfriend, and his family are extremely, extremely supportive. Just knowing that I have so many people that back me up, and knowing that if something were to go wrong, that I would have so many people to back me up, so many people that would be there to support me and be there for me mentally as well as physically. And just knowing, like I said, there is so much more to life than a little ball. And I know it's insane because I know Nora's probably the same way. As an athlete, we spend so much time dedicated to our craft, dedicated to preparation, not even like playing in games, but going to practice, going to weights, waking up early and getting extra training in. Just every single day is dedicated to getting better and knowing that one day that'll all be gone and we'll never touch our sport again, never step on the field again is a very, very hard concept to think about. But just like I said, knowing that there is so much more to life. There's having a family, having kids. Like I said, following the path that God has laid out for everyone. There's so much more to our lives that we don't even know, that only God knows where we're going and where the path He's leading you down. But yeah, just knowing that there's a future beyond and there's life beyond our sport.
Peyton, I love that. I
It's
love that.
amazing.
My mentor, Peyton, says this quote. He's passed away now, but he said this quote when he was alive. He says, "Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable." And I love hearing you say that we're playing for a bigger crown, right? Like all of this stuff is great, but we're playing for something bigger than us. And it made me think about when you were talking just now, you made me think about a devotional I was doing this morning, actually, that was talking about it's so easy to lose sight when you're in sport that you're chasing the performances and you're chasing the crown of like the platform, the medal, bettering your skills or developing yourself. And what it talked about in that devotional this morning was I wonder if we really run after the crown that God has for us that way, right? I wonder if we get up early in the morning to spend time with Him, stay up late at night to spend time with Him, right? Stay up late at night to train yourself spiritually. And just hearing you say that, it sounds like that's attached to not just you as a player, but it sounds like it's attached to you in your life. Do you feel rooted or are you still proving?
I would say a little bit of both. I think,
Mm,
especially going faith based, I think there's always room for growth. There's always room to better your connection. There's always room to become a better person, become a better, I mean, I'm Christian, so becoming a better Christian, becoming more devoted, becoming more, I mean, like you said, rooted. I think so. I grew up in, like I said, a very religious household. My mom and dad are both Christian, and I've been raised in a church. And we went every Sunday that I could as a kid until obviously, sadly, travel sports does end up getting in the way just because you're playing on Sundays. But just going to church every day, being in that environment. I have family members who are pastors. I have a lot of close friends who are pastors. We've become good friends with the pastor here in town. Just knowing that you're supported by those people and knowing that, like I said, you can never become fully rooted. There's no such thing as a perfect human. The only perfect human was Jesus himself.
mm.
So knowing that there's always room to grow, there's always room to become a better Christian or whatever religion you believe in. There's always room for growth there.
So we need to be training, is what I'm hearing you say. You should be training every day. I love it. Go ahead, Noah.
Dude, that's amazing. She has something about her energy. I don't know what it is, You always tell me your energy is like brings light and stuff. Her energy like just brings me comfort. Like it's insane. It's something about you, Peyton. I don't know what it is, but it's just amazing.
Thank you.
But I wanna know a little bit more about the pressure. How do you deal with pressure and what people do not see when you're playing and when you're performing, when you're hitting those home runs, when you come on the court, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm watching, everybody's like, okay, Peyton's gonna hit a home run now, we're good, we're gonna win, so I want to know, and you deal so good with it, honestly. Like, you never show it. You always like, go in with confidence, do your job, and just leave. So I want you to share a little bit how you deal with that pressure that people do not see.
I will say that I had a great coach in high school who, I mean, he had this quote every day: pressure makes diamonds. And
Mhm.
it's a privilege to feel pressure, both of those things. Um, and I completely agree. Like I said, I had amazing success in high school. Our high school team, I didn't have my freshman year due to COVID, but we went all 3 years of my high school career after that. We were state champions. I only lost one game in my high school career. But having that kind of pressure, I mean, was one of those things that immediately trained me like, okay, we have this big target on our back. We have all of this stuff. We have people, I mean, you have people preying on your downfall at that point just because they want to win. They want to beat that person. And just knowing, like I said, we're going into practices and hitting, and I mean, again, in college as well, you prepare for, I mean, everything. When you go in preparing for everything, that makes in-game situations a lot easier. If you're pressuring yourselves in practice, like even if it's adding a couple base runners here and there or creating a situation where it's causing more pressure, if you can simulate that in a practice, it makes that in-game situation a lot more easier to deal with and a lot easier to kind of navigate and stay calm and stay grounded.
Mhm.
And I mean, like I said, having that instilled in my mind as a 13, 14-year old that, pressure is a privilege. You're privileged to feel that pressure every day. And I mean, like I said, pressure makes diamonds. I mean, knowing that if you can succeed in those pressure moments, you're going to shine off in the distance. Just knowing that. So I've kind of always kept that close to my heart and just staying calm. And I think, like we were talking about earlier, your sport is something that obviously everybody is devoted to and everybody loves, but it's a sport. You have to have fun. You have to feel, I mean, being around your teammates, being around your coaching staff, and being around your parents and family and friends, just letting that pressure kind of melt off of you and knowing, yes, this is a serious situation, but we're here to have fun. We're here to succeed. We're here to have, I mean, great memories or everlasting memories that will last forever. I mean, just knowing that there's so much to the game, but knowing that your preparation has led you to the point where you will succeed.
I love that. First of all, your high school team was a beast, huh?
Yeah, and I
Um,
mean, we were, like I said, very, very small. I think I graduated with like 98 kids.
okay.
So having that success was awesome.
Wow. I know that feeling of kind of succeeding. I remember I was on a football team that we went undefeated, and it was the first time since like 1954, whatever. It was a whole bunch of years, and I remember that you talk about that target on your back. That brings there's a lot of pressure that comes with winning that a lot of people don't talk about. Like you said, that people, I remember people being on the radio talking about us. A lot of what you see today too, like we can't wait to play them, blah 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 blah. But the pressure of not allowing that stuff to go to your head. I also know the feeling of experiencing that high. And then I remember our junior year we went undefeated. So the next year we they reclassified our high school. We went down, and so because we dropped down out of the bigger league, we were picked to win it all. My senior year, and that year we lost 3 games, and we got put out the first round, and we were like shocked. So going through that, I want to ask you, what was it like for you? You have this amazing experience in high school, and then you go on to college. What was that first year experience like for you at the first college that you went to? Because I know you said, I heard you say you did the transfer portal and from another school. What was it like going from being winning, and you talk about pressure making diamonds, right? And then going to college, and now I'm transferring. Tell me about that experience for you.
I will say, going into my freshman year, I obviously you have a ton of expectations. You have no idea kind of what's coming, but you have those expectations for yourself and your team. And I specifically remember my freshman year. I think it was the first 10 games. We lost the first 10 games, and I remember sitting in that room like, wow, I just don't like. I don't even know what to do. And at that point, I wasn't getting I had gotten a couple opportunities to hit, but I wasn't playing in the field. I wasn't a starter. I kind of flipped back and forth with a couple different girls at the DP position, and I think I got 2 innings in the infield. But just knowing like, wow, I don't even have the opportunity. I don't have that pressure. I mean, because I'm not even getting a chance, and just knowing, okay, what could I do if I get in? Like, what would I do if I had a chance right here? How would I handle that? How can I prepare for that? Just knowing that when I got my chance, I would make the most of it and try my hardest to succeed. And obviously, like I said, going from I lost 1 game in my high school career, and it was my senior year of high school, to losing the first 10 games. And
That's difficult, right, Peyton? Losing that senior year.
yes.
Whew.
Oh, and it hurt because I was the one pitching, and it was just one mistake. It was one run. And that, I mean, obviously hurt so bad, but it was one of those things that, and luckily I had a coach in high school who those wins and losses didn't matter. He did not care about those wins and losses because either you win or you learn was his motto. So that game we learned. We learned and we moved forward and we took that and I mean ended up with the state championship and like he said the only games and the wins and losses that matter are those last 7 games because we had a 7 game track to go to state. So the only wins that matter are those last 7 games. He did not care about the rest of the season. So luckily having a coach that thought like that, I was like, okay, you know what? This is our opportunity to learn. This is our opportunity to grow. And yes, obviously it hurt knowing that like and at that point we had just set the record for the longest win streak in Illinois history softball. We had just beat it. I think original record was 69 and I think we got to 73 if I'm not
Wow.
wrong. And like we had just beat that record that had been hanging over our heads basically since we started the win streak. But knowing that, you know, it was bound to happen. It was going to happen at some point. I'm
Yeah.
glad that it was kind of on me. I'm glad that it wasn't forced onto somebody else because I knew how to handle that. And I had, like I said, I have a great support system. I have a great group of people around me. So knowing that, I can handle this, that was my fault. I'll take it. Let's move on and let's keep growing. And just, like I said, we ended up winning that year. And just knowing that that didn't stop us. One loss isn't going to stop you.
Yeah.
And I mean, college is a little bit different. You don't always get that chance to be in the tournament. You don't always get that chance to play that one last game. But just like I said, knowing that if you have a chance coming in and just preparing to succeed in that moment, and like I said, even if you're on the bench, even if you're not a starter, just knowing, okay, if I get thrown into this game, what can I do to best help my team to lead us to that win or lead us to the next step, get us one run, get us one step closer to that.
Amazing. I love that, Peyton. But I have one more question, kind of the same topic. So, like you talking about your high school experience, right? It was kind of on you, let's say, but now going into college, of course, is different. And I personally still struggle with this because I
Mm.
play, I play like tennis, so I don't have to like worry about who's playing with me and who's not. But coming to college right now, tennis still counts as a team. So my win is gonna help the team win. So, and then when we lose as a team, it's not just one person losing, it's just a whole
That's right.
team. And that's when I realized, and I also remember the first time my freshman year, one time I called my parents and we lost like the 4-3 and the 3-all game, it was my match and I lost it. And I remember I was like, thank you for making me play tennis because I cannot do with this forever. Like I cannot take the blame like this. It's just so hard. And like sometimes too, like you're winning, you're playing so good, and then still your team loses, so it kind of hurts. So I want to know, like, how do you deal with that as you play like a team sport? Like, how do you deal with like days going in, playing your best, but still like, as a team you guys lose, or sometimes like, you talked about the experience of you, let's say like, missing the chance to win. So I want to know when it's the opposite. How do you deal with
I mean, like you said, softball's a little bit different. It's 9 players or 10 players, depending on your lineup, and depending on who comes in. It's not all on one person. It never is on one person. There's, um, I think, so many different ways to kind of look at that. And I mean, like I said, I had a great high school coach who um, we were always told win the pitch. So there's so many pitches in a game. There's so many opportunities for you to do something. And I mean, there's so many chances for small wins. It doesn't have to be coming up and handing a home run when it matters. It could be you're in a 0-0 count and you take the first pitch and it's a ball. That's a win in our book. So knowing that there's so many different opportunities for you to sneak in those small wins, and I mean, like you said, sneak in the losses too, because it's going to happen. Softball is a sport of failure. I mean, we talk about it all the time, and I've had to tell some of the younger kids that I've taught hitting to, if you're playing Major League Baseball and you get out 7 out of 10 times, that means you're hitting 300. You're doing amazing. That's a great season. And it's so odd to think about that because, okay, I'm hitting 300. Yeah, that's a great number. But I just failed 7 out of 10 times. Like that, having that point of just knowing that failure is going to come. You can't be perfect. And I think that's one thing that I find very, very important to know and hold on to is that failure is going to come no matter what you do. You cannot perfect any sport. You're not going to be perfect all the time. You're going to have an error. You're going to have a strikeout. You're going to swing at a pitch that you shouldn't have. You're going to make a mistake and throw to the wrong bag or make a mistake, mental error or something like that. It's going to happen. And just knowing that, okay, yes, I made this mistake, but I have to move on because there's so many more pitches left in the rest of the game. If I make an error in the first inning and I shut down after that, that's 6.5 more innings that I just I just kind of screwed my team because I was too focused on that. So just knowing that there's so many opportunities for you to win in small ways as well as those big ways. They're coming up with a home run, hitting a double, getting an RBI, stuff like that. There's so many chances for you to redeem yourself or not even thinking about it like that, but there's just so many more chances for
Yeah.
you and your team to succeed that you can't just let one moment weigh you down and you can't just let this failure or this kind of just trying to find the positives in everything. Okay, yes, I hit a pop up, but maybe I scored a run. Maybe that was a sac fly. Or yes, I struck out, but maybe something happened. Maybe that gives the opportunity to my teammate behind me, and I need to go cheer her on right now because yes, my strikeout hurt, but maybe she can make something happen behind me. Um, and just knowing that, like I said, failure is bound to happen. And it's more not preparing for the failure itself, but preparing how to continue advancing, continue forward, and continue holding yourself to that standard and being a great teammate and a great player and everything else after that failure happens.
I love that. I love that. That's totally one of the things I work with my athletes on is that, right? The greatest athletes are not the ones that just win well, it's the ones that deal with failure well. I always tell people if you can quickly move on to the next thing and not even move on with an attachment to the failure, feel the feeling of failure, but don't allow that to grow and groom you for the next thing. Use it as fuel, though, to help yourself catapult to hit that home run when you get back up to bat again, right? So I appreciate you for sharing that. That leads me to kind of like, I want to talk a little bit about faith for you. And with that being said, like you talked about how important your faith was and has been and is for you. How has your faith changed the way you prepare, right? Not just how you perform, but how's it changed the way you prepare yourself?
I mean, I could start off with the very, very obvious. We have a group of teammates who say a prayer before every game, praying for obviously that anxiety that's in us to be cast out, praying for protection over our team, the fans, the other team, other coaches, the umpires, everybody that is surrounding the sport. praying for, I mean, the beautiful weather, thanking God for giving us the chance to be out on that field and getting the chance to play the sport we love. That's obviously part of my preparation. Just
Mhm.
knowing that you're taking that moment to take a step back and say the prayer and say, I mean, just give your grace to God because, like I said, none of this would be possible without Him.
Mhm.
None of this would be here without Him. We wouldn't be playing the sport. We wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to play against this team. We wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to play a women's sport. Like,
Mhm.
I think that's something that's overlooked too.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you're getting that opportunity to play one more day of the sport you love, and it might be crappy weather, but hey, at least you're getting a chance to play. Or it might be beautiful weather, and that's something we can thank God for. But just like I said, praying over everything, thanking Him for the opportunity, praying over the people that we care about, and like I said, praying over the opponent because, like I said, life is so much more than the sport. So obviously, you want to keep everybody safe, everybody healthy. You don't ever want to see an opposing teammate or your teammate go down. So praying for their safety and everything like that, and praying for everybody who's surrounding. Like I said, umpires, they in some serious heat sometimes or freezing cold. You don't ever want to see something happen to
Everybody.
them.
I know that's right.
Um, yeah, and same with the parents. I mean, wild foul balls happen all the time. You'd hate to see somebody get hit. You'd hate to see
Okay.
something happen. So, praying for that before the game even starts. And I mean, I like you said, there's different times that people kind of spend that time preparing and building that relationship with God. And I choose the nighttime. I'm a night owl, so when I'm staying up and I'm thinking, and that's when my mind starts
You
to
are
race.
late in the midnight hour. God's
I
gonna turn it
am very, very sadly, I am. I wish I was a morning person, but
around. Me too. I like both. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
Both.
But I take that time to, I mean, pray about everything. I know, say my prayers at night, and especially for game days, I pray for God to give me the best opportunity to be the best teammate that I can be, and be the best player that I can be, and just allowing me to shed light on Him, and just give all my grace to Him, and all the glory goes to Him. None of this would be possible without Him, so I can't be the player that I am or the person that I am without Him. So just giving Him all that grace and stuff.
I love that. I love your perspective. It just explains everything about you, I swear. Like you see everything differently. You take your steps differently, and that's I think that's what like makes you this amazing human being, honestly. It's amazing. But I also want to know, have you felt God working more in you in loss or in victory? So in those hard moments and anxiety before games or after a loss or, you know, moments of victory and success. So
I mean, obviously, the great answer would be you feel Him in both. You feel Him, you feel that grace when you win. You feel that strength and that energy, that great. I mean, great energy, great vibes, great everything when you come off with the win, and just feeling that grace, like okay, everything got put together, everything. A to Z went right, and we all won. Like obviously, you feel that grace then, but I think you also have to feel God in those losses because like I said, I went through a phase where I did not ever want to touch a softball again my freshman year. I did not want to play. I I just didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't feel comfortable playing the sport that I loved my entire life. I lost that love. And like I said, that loss itself brought me so much closer to God because I had to ask, I had to sit there and pray, and I mean, ask for help. I mean, I think that's one thing that not a lot of athletes do is just sitting there. And I mean, I literally sat and laid, and I can't tell you how many times I cried just
Mm.
knowing, okay, God, I need your help. I need you to tell me, I need you to lead me down the path that you have set for me. I need you to show me where I'm supposed to be. I need you to show me what path to take. I mean, like I said, I had no idea what I was going to do. And I think I know you're talking about actual loss, like the loss category, but knowing that I had lost something else and had to go find him in that.
Mm.
And like I said, I think you feel God in both. I think you have to be that person who obviously in loss you're asking for help, you're asking for that support, asking to be better, um, asking him how you can be better for him and for your team and for you yourself as a person, but also giving him that grace and that glory after you get those big wins and thanking him, like I said, for the opportunity to be great, not even just to play, but to be great, to have the success, to come up with that big game-winning hit, to come up with that game-winning pitch. I mean, I think that's one thing that you have to see both sides.
I love hearing you share that. Like when you say that, something that popped up for me, Peyton, though, is in my in personal life, like in the losses, or what we would say losses are, that's the place that you really have to tap into that competitor in you, right? We all play sports, and so you learn a competitive edge. When you go through those struggles, man, yo, that's when you really gotta, as we say, dig in. That grit has to show up then, like to get back up again. Um, and I love hearing you say that I see him in both, because the diamond does not become the diamond without the fire,
Yes, I agree.
right? The diamond doesn't become the diamond without the fire, and the pressure is necessary for the diamond to get shot to the top, right? I know you said your coach. So that diamond goes down to the hottest part of the volcano, and when it's in the hottest part being purified, the diamond at the hottest point is shot to the top for somebody to find it. But imagine the place where it feels like it's losing, where it's being purified. And a lot of us don't like the purification process that we go through, but a lot of what's being purified in us sometimes is our motives. Sometimes what's being purified in us is our mindset. Sometimes what's being purified in us is our love for not just the sport, but sometimes what's being purified is your heart towards serving others. I want to ask you, where has faith given you peace when performance couldn't?
That's a great question. And I had to say, like you said, we're all competitors. We're all athletes. We're all have that driving force, and nobody likes to lose.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that feeling of having a loss or failing
Mm,
in this at bat or in the field or anything like that. But I have to say, like, finding that part of me with God that, like, yes, I can get through this. I can be this person. I can find um, or go through that purification, go through that kind of tunnel of darkness to find the light. And then like I said,
yeah.
I went through that my freshman year, and I lost who I was as a person, and that was horrible. Like just knowing that that person that I had been my entire life was gone and diminishing, and
Hmm.
knowing that you have to find that correct path to go down to become that person again and to find that light again, and finding God in that strength and that motivation within me. And actually, this is a little bit off topic, but when I specifically remember my first ever collegiate home run was playing for Western my sophomore year. And it was a walk-off home run, and I still remember my dad running up to our head coach and just, "Can I please give you a hug because you brought my daughter back?" Like just
Mm,
finding that path and knowing that God led me down that path to be there, um, and just knowing that getting that opportunity, getting that chance to be that person again, and having that opportunity to be supported the way that I had been in high school, um, that led me back to being the person that I was and finding God again and finding that strength within, um, in that kind of realm. But
Peyton, I got to lean into that. I saw some deep emotion come up just then.
yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're feeling there. Like, what's the connection to that for you? Because something tells me like it was deeper than, like you said, the home run. That it sounds like you had lost yourself and was seeking to find that which you were created for, purpose again.
Yeah. Like I said, I've grown up playing softball my whole life. I've played that, and that was the sport that I felt best at. Like that was the sport that I had the most success in. Yes, I played basketball too, but basketball was more fun and more family based. My whole family played basketball, and playing softball, I was one of the only ones. My grandpa played, and that kind of brought me into the sport. And he had amazing success. But just knowing that, this is where I thrive. This is where I need to be, and this is how. And I mean, like I said, it has led me to the point of being in college and getting the opportunity to go to college and get a chance for a degree. So my freshman year, when I had kind of been shut down, I felt like I had been in a box. Like I felt like I wasn't the person that they were wanting, I guess. I no matter what I did, I never felt like I got that support. I never felt like I got the opportunity or the chance to be the person that I was. I felt like I had been kind of shoved down and just
Yeah.
kind of even dragged through the mud. Like I just felt like no matter what I did, it was never enough. So why would I continue doing that? Because it wasn't enough. I wasn't that person. I wasn't able to have that effect on the coaching staff and I had great teammates at the time, but I mean, we all kind of felt that way. We all kind of felt dragged down,
Hmm.
and I lost that, like I said, that mental piece of me, the physical piece of me. I felt like I was gone. Like I said, I lost that part of me that had loved the sport for so long. I lost the person that I was, the teammate that I was, because I was so hurt. I was so drugged down, and like I said, I never really lost the faith, but I did grow my faith so much then because I was asking God. I was laying all of myself on the line and just laying on my I mean my parents, my friends, God, everyone. Just I need help. I actually need help, and kind of finding that strength to say that. Like I think as athletes we're taught to be the toughest person that we can be. I
Mhm.
mean, don't
Yeah.
cry. There's no crying in baseball. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're taught that your whole life, and just
Yeah.
knowing that that mental health piece beside it has finally started to be highlighted in these recent years. But
Wow.
I was asking for help. I was trying. I had gone to a sports psychologist, and I mean, kind of funny, but I was going. I was telling them all the problems, and they were like, "Have you ever thought about transferring?" And that was the first thing that I was like, "Wow, okay, I'm not the only one seeing the issue. Like
Wow.
it's not this that it's not me. It's not I mean, partially, but it wasn't just me. It wasn't I was the one
Yeah.
failing. I was the one that wasn't enough. So I mean, just finding that place where your energy and your personality and everything about you is highlighted and loved and cared for, and having a coach who truly cares about your mental health more than your
Yeah.
physical health as a player, or caring about you as a person versus a player. But yeah, that moment, it was the first tournament that we played. It was one of the last games that we played that weekend. But it was bottom of the seventh. We were down one run,
Mm.
um, runner on second base, and I
Mm.
hit the home run. And I remember it coming off the bat, and I was like, "Oh my God, we just won!" And oh my God, like oh my gosh, I just did that. Like, oh my gosh, and I cried. I cried the entire way around the base path, and I'm not a very emotional person, so that
Mhm.
was or not on the field at least. I try not to show emotion. And I just remember them hugging me when I got across home plate. I came across home plate, and they were all there ready for me, and just bawling as I crossed the plate because, oh my gosh, I finally found my place. I found where I'm supposed to be. I found that support
Yeah.
system. I found myself again.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, home runs were kind of my mojo in high school. I actually have the IHSA single season home run record. So being like, oh my
Right.
gosh, I'm back. Like I'm not just hitting these little dinky balls. I'm not just making
Mm.
it through. It's me again. It's the me that I trained so hard to be. It's the me that my family loved, my friends loved, my boyfriend loved. Like everything was finally coming through again. And like my dad said, like I was finally me again after all of
Wow.
that time of darkness and trials and adversity, and putting my faith in God and putting everything forward and just putting my trust in the path that He had laid out for me. I was back again, and just knowing that, my gosh, I did it. I finally crawled out of whatever that was, and I finally crawled out of the person that I was, and just I found myself again, and I found me.
That's
Was, I mean,
beautiful.
insane.
That's
That's beautiful.
amazing. That gave me chills. I literally almost start crying with like that's insane. Like, dude, I'm just so happy that she found her place and that is Western because Tariko, I cannot even share enough or like put it into words. Like, I'm not part of the softball team, you know. I have nothing to do with softball. I tried it. I'm just so mad at it. I said I will never bother again. But like, there's most of my friends from the softball team, like, there's something about their energy. And Peyton, as I said, like, is one of the first people I met. And her sharing this story and just I never knew about this story, you know. I only knew that Peyton transferred and she's happy to be here, you know, nothing deeper. But just hearing about this Peyton just explains it all. Like, you know, like you found your place. I'm happy that you did. I'm happy that I'm here, that I met you. But that just explains, like, when we talk to you, you know what to say, the right words at the right time. You always make us feel comfortable, and it's all because, you went through some similar things or even harder. So that's amazing to know then, to have you share this. So thank you.
Thank
But
you for giving me the
yeah,
chance and the
so
platform to say it.
thank you for being here. But just to talk a little bit more about your mindset, we kind of know and learn now that, you're very tough mentally, and as you said, you're very good at like focusing on the game, focusing on the goal, not showing your emotions, and just working hard. So I want to know what does mental discipline look like for you when, some days you don't feel motivated, when you're tired, you just want to rest, you want to just go home. How do you deal with that?
I mean, I think a lot of what you said, that mental preparation comes into play way before you're in that game moment, way before you even step on the field. It comes in that practice, like knowing, okay, even if I'm tired, I can still do this. I have to push myself. I have to continue working hard so I can be that great person in that great moment or be that great player in that moment. Um, just, preparing 10,000 steps ahead. I mean, like I said, talking about in practice, preparing yourself for those situations, preparing yourself for that specific count or this specific pitch or this specific I mean, I could go down to every single detail. But just knowing, and I think part of my mental preparation has been like, okay, I have to be here. I have to be ready. I have to be with my team, and just um, knowing that my teammates are behind me and supporting me and getting me through, that kind of helps my mental preparation as well. Just knowing that, I mean, again, you're backed, you're supported, and no matter what happens, your team will always be there, your coach will always be there. Um, that kind of mental preparation, as well as um, every single part of that. I mean, mental preparation comes into fact, and yes, the actual practicing itself, but visualization, picturing yourself in that moment in the game, if this happens or if that happens, and mental preparation ahead of a play, and just, okay, if the ball gets hit to me, this is where I'm going to go. Okay, if I get this pitch, this is how I'm going to approach my swing. Just training yourself, visualizing that prior to, you don't even have to be on the field. You can be at home laying in bed, and you're just, I have 10 minutes. Let me visualize this. Let me picture this. Let me go through this. That way, when it becomes that game situation, you're ready, you're prepared. But yeah, I think a lot of that mental preparation is going through that, and, okay, preparing yourself for that and looking at that, and close, I mean, magnification. I mean, this pitch, this is what I'm going to do. This, if I get hit this way, or this ball in this direction, this is what I'm going to do. And just always having that, like, one step forward mentality, or one pitch forward. Okay, next pitch, this is what I'm going to do. Just kind of always having that in the back of my head has really helped me mentally prepare for any game situation.
No, I love that. And Nora, that's an excellent question. Like, I think when you think about, kind of like you said, preparing yourself and being wired properly, because that's where I guess the psychology term that we use is reframing and rewiring your brain. A lot of people don't know that when you have struggles and you have those difficulties, when I work with athletes, teaching them that sometimes trauma, like the trauma that we experience even in sport, it creates a block, a mental block for you. And so until you rewire yourself, then it almost like it keeps a place hidden. But once it's rewired, what you said, when I hit that home run again, I found myself. So what your brain did was like, it was tucked away over in the corner of your brain, and there was an area that I can't get. I don't know why I can't push through this. And then you hit that home run. You like, boom, it's open. I done broke into this safe, right? I'm in here now. Now I get the goods. And I love hearing you kind of share the transition you've gone through, right? Being on the mountaintop, but going through struggle, and then finding yourself again, right? Finding that love again, finding that passion again, being excited for your purpose, and how you're walking this thing out that God's given you to do, I want to ask you, like now you're in your junior year. What softball season is getting ready to kick off? Here soon, right? It's getting ready to kick off in the spring. When do you guys start up, Peyton?
We actually go back to campus. Our first practice is the 19th, and we basically start playing that first weekend in February. So we get back and we're in it to win it, and it's right there. Like it's a week and a half or 2 weeks ahead.
So here's what I want to ask you. With that being said, because one of the things that I'm most excited about right now is a lot of you guys are in the preparation place and getting ready to play. Nora's getting ready to come back and getting ready to get in the season. And what we're doing is we're offering like free 30-minute calls with athletes. Like anywhere, they can book a 30-minute session for free to kind of talk about where they are now. What would you say to an athlete that's silently struggling, like right now, like maybe they're where Peyton was, where they were like they're questioning, where's that spark at? Like I last season I was horrible. I didn't play to my best. I'm struggling. I got stuff going on at home. What would you say to that person that's struggling with their identity and the pressure is on them right now?
First, I think, and like I said, like you were talking, I went through this phase. I had people and support system calling me and trying to help, and I can't thank them enough because those phone calls and each person showing me that okay, you got to keep going. I was like, okay, I have to keep trying. I have to keep doing this. So I think my first thing would be asking the athlete, okay, why are you playing?
Mm,
Why are you doing this? Why are you in this position? Why are you here?
mm,
Because I think that's one thing that obviously we're all like, oh, cuz I love the sport. Okay, but why? Why are you doing this? Why are you here? Is it I'm going to college or I'm playing so I can go to college and get a scholarship? Because
right.
if I don't get that scholarship, I'm not going to be able to go. There's a lot of people that have that issue. Okay, then you have to strive for something bigger than yourself. That's more for you and your parents and your family and your future. Okay, you're striving for your future. Are you playing because you truly love the sport and you just want to have that success? Are you playing because you love your teammates? Are you playing because you feel forced to play? You feel like you're stuck in that place. I think finding that motivation, finding your why is one of those things that okay, kind of opens your eyes. This is why I'm playing. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Second, I mean, going from that, are you wanting to do this? Are you wanting to put in the effort? Are you wanting to put in the work? Have you been putting in the work? I mean, like you said, we're in off season right now. We're not with our coaches. We're not together. We're not with our teammates. And as well as mental preparation, physical preparation is needed. Are you willing to put in this work? Are you willing to do this? Um, and I mean, I think getting to know the athlete deeper down would help, but just, I mean, like I said, I had those people who were like, you are too good to give up. You are too good to be in this place. You have done so many harder things. There, I mean, passing a conditioning test at the beginning of the season, getting up at 5:30 in the morning for workouts, getting up and practicing on days that you feel terrible and you feel sick or you feel sore, you hurt,
Hmm.
getting through all of that. Yes, it's hard, but is it worth it the reward at the end? Have you been at that place? Have you felt that success? Have you felt that, I mean, empowering feeling where,
You
okay,
getting
I
me
know what
hype,
I'm
Peyton.
doing. I know
Peyton, you
where I
getting me so
am.
hype.
Yeah, and I think just kind of finding out you have to, like you were talking about, rewire their brain.
Hmm.
It's not, oh, I have to go play the sport. Oh, I have to go to
Get to
practice.
right.
It's a privilege. Oh, I get to go to practice. I get to be better. I get to go to weights. I get to get stronger. Just looking at it and flipping that, I mean, even that just kind of flipping of the sides rather than having that negative outlook or oh I have to go to practice, okay I get to go to practice and I get to better myself. That's getting you better by 1% right there, just changing that little phrase in your mind. Or oh I have to go hit, okay I'm going to practice my skill. Oh I get to go perfect this. Oh I get to go work on this. I really struggled with this last season. Can I perfect it now? Can I work on it? Can I mean, get 1% better at this thing today so I can be better in the long run. I think kind of getting, like you were talking about, rewiring that brain and just rewiring the pieces to it, giving in that positive outlook. I think that's one thing that, again, athletes tend to look towards the negative side. You ask a person after the game that went 2 for 4 with a home run and a double, oh, I mean, how are you feeling after that? Oh,
Hmm.
I mean, yes, obviously I'm proud of that success, but we have to get better in this category. I
Hmm.
mean, it's insane to think about because you're like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. And then they're like, I need to get better. I think
Right.
we tend to focus on that negative side or, oh, I had an error. Yes, I hit a home run, but I had an error. Your mind's stuck on that error. You have to get past that. And like I said, rewire that brain. Okay, yes, I did this, but I'm going to go work on this so I can better that in the future. I think that's one thing that's like incredibly important. And I mean, like I said, I think every athlete is different and just finding, okay, what is your why? What's your motivation? Do
Mm.
you care enough about the sport to sacrifice this? Do you care about it to put in this work, to put in this effort? And I mean, three, have fun. Like,
Mm.
yes, that sport is hard. Yes, you're going through these trials. Yes, you're going through, I mean, like I said, the errors, the mistakes, the strikeouts, whatever. It's going to happen. But just have fun. This is a sport. Every sport was created and intended to have fun. It wasn't yes, maybe a little bit of competitiveness to kind of strike up that, but you're supposed to go have fun. That's why we all started this sport. That's all why we all committed to the sports that we're in because we were
Right.
having fun and it's the thing that you fell in love with. So I mean, just finding that route back to okay, this is why I love it. This is why I'm here, and just kind of refreshing that okay, and bringing up that new kind of platform, I guess, and just being okay. Yes, I didn't have the season I wanted to yet. No, I didn't get the opportunity I wanted to, but this is a new year. This is a fresh start.
New
This is
year,
how
new
I'm gonna
you.
do
That's what
this.
I say.
That's amazing. I didn't know how much I needed to hear this actually, just her saying this right now. I'm gonna request to have you as a speaker at Western Payton. We need you. We need your help as soon as possible. That's crazy. No, seriously, that's amazing. Like as I said before, your perspective just explains it all. Like, you're not faking it. That's you. That's your energy. That's your perspective. And we can see it. We can see it as your friends from your energy, your kindness, how you see things. But I also see it from outside the softball field. I see it in your hard work, in your discipline, your motivation. It's just you. That it's just you. There's nothing about it. um I want to ask you, Peyton, how do you want Peyton to be remembered? What legacy you want to leave behind you? Not just in softball or western, just Peyton, how do you want to be remembered?
I think obviously you want to be remembered as that great player, that person who was so clutch in these moments or could do anything, obviously that, but beyond the sport, beyond the results. I don't records, okay, they're made to be broken. Yes, you'll break them. Yes, you'll tie them, whatever. That's I think that's just something that obviously it's cool to have, but it's I think what I want to be remembered as is being that good teammate, being that person who is so supportive and um, there's a it's a word, it's called mudita. It's having vicarious joy in other success. I think that's what I want to be remembered for the most, and I learned that through Alabama softball.
Roll Tide,
But
roll
yes,
Tide.
yes, they have. It's a video all about this mudita, and it's something that they were taught through their coach, and I was taught through my high school coach. But they were in the World Series, and you have I think she was a three-time All-American slapper up to bat, and you had bases loaded, and he takes her out and he puts a freshman in and she is the top person on that top step cheering for this freshman because if they lose this game, they don't get the chance to go to the World Series. But
Mm.
they put this freshman in, and I mean, you have two options. You can go sulk about it and go cry and be upset and be hurt that your coach took you out, or you
Mm.
can be that number one supporter on that top step, and that is exactly what she did. And that freshman hit a home run, and it sent him to the World Series.
Mm.
And I mean, that's kind of what I want to be known for is I want to be known as that good teammate, that good person. Like you were kind of saying, like I want to be known for my kindness and I wanted to be known for my strong faith and being that person that you could always come to, no matter whether it was a softball problem or a family problem or a personal problem. Like I want to be that friend. I want to be that good person. Like I said, that's more what I would rather be remembered for rather than all the accomplishments or anything like that. And obviously, it would be great to have a couple championship wins and being known for that and just coming up in those big moments and having that success and having, I mean, whatever records or whatever physical accomplishments that you have. Obviously, you want to be remembered for that, but beyond the sport, I want to be remembered for being a good person, being strong in my faith, and being there for people when they need it.
That's awesome, Peyton. Peyton, I first of all want to thank you so much for being a guest with us today. And as we kind of wrap up everything, like my question for you is, what's the number this year? What's the home run total that we're going after this year?
My hitting coach was joking around. He was like, I'm calling 18, but I mean,
I'm
I
calling 20.
personally,
I'm calling 20, Peyton.
I
Coleman
mean,
21.
I would love to break my high school home run record and do the 28, but beyond that, I just
Uh,
want to be that consistent hitter. I want to be that person who can drive in the runs and be that almost sacrifice myself, sacrifice the hit for the team and get the wins and everything because I think that's one thing we struggled with last year was I don't want to hit for myself. I want to hit for my team. I want to strive to get those wins and get I mean, the series wins and give us the opportunity to get to the tournament because last year I think we were one game short. And
mhm.
just knowing that, oh my gosh, if we would have just executed this in that exact moment, if I would have just had this hit or gotten this run in, maybe it would have been different. So I don't want to live with that regret. I just want to be that person who I want to put everything on the line to put our team in the best place. So rather than focusing on, oh yeah, I want to hit 500 or yeah, I want the 28 home runs, whatever. Just I want to focus on getting our team those wins and getting those small wins and getting the hit when it's needed or getting the RBI when it's needed and stuff like that.
I love that. With an attitude like that, I just want to commend you that the highest form that any of us can be here in this world is a servant. And so I love that you said that I want to focus on serving and doing what's best for my team. And I'm so excited to see the year that you're going to have. Uh, us being believers and believing, we know that the scripture says, with God, all things are possible to him that believe. And so it is clear to me talking to you that you have that belief, right? You have that trust in God, and that you can tell that it's not just something you say, but it's something that you live. So I am so honored to have you as a guest today, and we're going to be following you this year and definitely hope to see you again. We have to get you back on the podcast at the end of the season and talk about Peyton. How'd it go? How'd it go,
We
Peyton?
can do that, definitely.
But I look forward to following you and just want to thank you for being rooted in greatness. It definitely like comes from you in conversation. But like Noor said, like I can tell it's not you as an athlete, it's you as a person. And that's what I think is so rewarding and what I want our audience to see that, yeah, you work hard on the field. But what I've heard you say is that who your character is outside of the field is as important as who you are on the field. So thank you for being who you are. Noor, any final words for you?
I just want to thank her for being here. I'm really glad to have you share your story, and I hope everybody that is listening to us today just, gets. I think everybody that is listening will actually get to feel, your energy and your kindness and your faith. It's as I said before, like I cannot put it into words. I'm sorry, but my English is not that good. It's just an energy to feel, and I'm very, very glad that I got to meet you and be like a friend of yours because, your success makes us more successful. Like I remember one time they came to watch us and it was so cold and stuff, and it was me and another teammate of mine that were really good friends with Peyton. And we were like, okay, we gotta win faster, like it just, I don't know, it just actually like being around you like make us all want to be better and, more successful on and off the field. So just keep being you. I'm so excited to watch you this season. But
Me
yeah,
too. I
looking
can't wait.
forward.
So
Yeah.
Peyton, my final thing from you, what's your favorite scripture?
My favorite scripture, and I have it actually, I have it on my glove, is Isaiah 41:10.
Mm,
I don't know exactly what it is, but I can look it up really
I
fast.
love it. Go ahead. You can look it up. We got time. So you can read it to the people.
And say I don't want to um, misread it by any realms. Isaiah 41:10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand."
Come
And I
on.
wear that on my left hand, on my glove, but always as a reminder just that God is with you. God stands beside you. God gives you that strength and that energy and that power to be, like I said, a great teammate, but also a great player and a great human.
Yeah.
Just knowing that reminder that He is always surrounding you. He will never put you in a place that you cannot handle. And I think that's one of the things that has brought me so far in this life is just knowing that God would not put me in a place or put me through a battle that I could not handle. God would
Come
not do
on.
that.
Come on.
So just knowing that that strength is there and that energy and that full sense of protection or whatever that is to you, however you feel God, He's always there with you.
Come on, Peyton. You talking that conqueror's language. I love that. I love that. Listen, y'all, make sure that you go and follow Peyton. Peyton, how can people reach you if they want to work with you? Do you run any camps or anything like that where people can reach out to you, Peyton?
I have run camps in the past. I don't have anything like that now, but my Instagram is a great way to reach out, whether that's just talking and having a conversation or trying to find a place where we could do hitting lessons or something like that. I'm always open to that. My Instagram tag is just Peyton Brown with two N's. Brown has two N's. So that is just how you reach me. And like I said, whether that's just a conversation, whether it's about recruiting or softball or that mental preparation or about your faith or if you're questioning anything, just having somebody to talk to who has been through it. My phone is always open. I'm always willing to talk to any athlete. I love having that. It doesn't matter if you're a softball player either, but just having that kind of community and having that kind of support system. Like I said, the faith based athletes, or it doesn't even have to be faith based. If you're needing help, if you're needing that energy, or needing that support, or needing somebody to tell you their story so you can feel something, or if you're needing a guide to find yourself in the Lord, if you're needing to find your faith, your religion, I'm more than willing and always open to having a conversation. I have a public account, so I believe that you can message me through anything, but I'm always open to having conversations.
Peyton, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all, listen, this has been phenomenal. We're going to have guests every week, just like Peyton. You guys go follow her. Her and Noor both are at Illinois. So go follow them this year, see what they got going on there. If you can go, if you're in the area, go to some matches, go to some games, go check them out. I hope I can pop in on y'all. I hope
You
I can
you
That would
have
be
to.
awesome.
check you guys out.
You kind of
But no,
have to, Tarico.
it's so good to have you guys, and thank you for being with us. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Thank you.